Facebook Live, take two. Hey, it's Pastor D, Senior Pastor, Founder, Unity Worship Center. As you come into the room, I want to talk to you quickly about being single, saved, and waiting. So if you're catching this replay, that's the topic. And some of you may not even be saved, but it may have something applicable to your life. So come share this on your wall so people across all social media platforms can watch this. Hello, people of God. I am Pastor D, Unity Worship Center in Shreveport, Louisiana. Share this if you would, and we're going to get started. How's everybody doing? You guys are having a wonderful and a blessed day on today. Today is what? I think it's Wednesday. If you are in the Monroe area, we're doing Ladies Night Out for the next 2 nights in Monroe, Louisiana. So if you are in that area, would love for you to come and participate and be in the audience with us. You're going to be glad you did. 2 nights of power-packed services for ladies that we're sure that you're going to enjoy. How's everybody doing? Hello, people of God. Let's get started. If you don't know who I am, I'm Pastor D. Some of you, I hadn't been on Facebook in probably a month, so I do apologize, but I'm going to do a little bit better. If you would hit that share button at the bottom, share this to your walls so other people can, be privy to what I'm about to say. It's a precursor to our Ladies Night Out, so we want to say something to the singles on tonight, and I'll get started because a lot of questions are posed across my platforms and social media sites. Simple as this: Pastor D, I'm single and I'm saved, but I'm waiting. What do I need to do? So some of you asked this question, so let me give you some answers tonight. And honestly, I just wrote down some points, just thinking critically about singles, because I don't think the church addresses singles enough and has enough issues, I guess, or enough platforms where singles can kind of pose their issues. So today, I want to talk about some of those things, okay, on tonight. So again, share this to your wall. Let's get ready. Let's get started. A lot of you know me from Periscope, but now here it is, Facebook Live. So let's talk about it. So you say, Pastor D, I'm single, I'm saved, and I'm waiting. What do I do in the meantime? And how do I do this and that and that? Okay. One of the number one points that I'm going to give you is this, okay? Check this out. Wanting to be loved is normal, okay? Wanting to be loved is normal. Acting desperate is abnormal. I want you to catch that first point out the gate. Shots fired. I love you, people of God, but hear that. I'm going to say it one more time. Hello, preachers and people of God. I see you all on here. Wanting to be loved is normal. Acting desperate is abnormal. You say, you know what, Pastor D? It's okay to be wanting to be loved. That's normal. But now being desperate is abnormal. Sometimes you are so desperate where you no longer want to be the bridesmaid. You want to be the bride. And now that's abnormal, because sometimes you'll date someone and you'll be with someone based on the fact you don't want to be single. One of the mantras that I tell people all the time: marriage is not the cure-all. It's not the be-all. Being single, people of God, is a good thing. If you understand that in your singleness, you can do a whole lot by yourself. You can get closer to God, but marriage is not the cure, and singleness is not a curse. In your singleness, you can get closer to God. You can pray more. When you get married, marriage brings on a multiplicity of problems where now you have to take on that other person's problem. So don't be so quick where you appear to be desperate, and so you date different men and different women all the time because you're just saying you want to find the right one. No, what you need to ask God to do is not so much as the right one. Find the one that's perfect for you, because some of you can tell the truth. You say, Pastor D, I like to talk back. I like to run my mouth. I like to run my own money. And I need somebody that's going to be a little bit stronger in this season of my life, because sometimes what happens in your life is you'll be hurt by people so many times that now you'll start to settle for the suitable just to get past this point of your life. And sometimes you don't even want to date people based on the fact that they've hurt you before. But I want to say this now: don't become desperate, because now your biological clock is ticking. You're 30 years old, and now you want to have children. You want to have the white picket fence, and you want to have the man, and you want to have 2.5 kids and a dog named Nuck Nuck, okay? Don't you become desperate wanting to be loved, number one. All right? It's normal. Acting desperate is abnormal, okay? Number 2 is this: be patient, hear me clearly, and focus on God. All right? Which means now, in your patience may also be delayed gratification. Y'all probably should share this out on your wall. It's going to get good, I promise you. I got about 12 to 13 more minutes and I'm done. Patience may also be delayed gratification. Okay, so now it means sometimes in your patience, you may have to sweat this one out. Some of you can testify, say, Pastor D, I've been single for years. I've been by myself for years. I've been doing this by myself for years. It may mean delayed gratification. But one of the points that you need to understand that I'm going to give you real quickly is this now. Here it is now. Watch this. Always lengthen your patience, but never lower your standards, okay? Sometimes you'll get so quick to want to be with somebody that you'll lower your standards, and the enemy will trick you and box you in and think just because now someone walks into your life, they are the man or the woman for you, just because they may appear to be spiritual. Okay, I don't know if this helping anybody, but I hope it is. And you'll now be with somebody because now you trying to put your focus, people of God, on having a relationship with a man or a woman, and you take your focus off having the relationship with God. And some of you need to understand the reason that some of you are single. Watch this clearly. It's because God says he's a jealous God and he don't want any other gods before him. And sometimes you'll get with a man and now you'll relegate God to a one-night stand. God does not want weekend visitations in your life. God does not want you to mix and mingle seasoned standards and relationships with him when it comes to him. God wants full custody of your life. So now God will now make you go through a season where you are by yourself because he refuses to allow you to have some other person, some other man, some other woman before him. So what you'll do, you'll start to date this person and you're with this person and you'll dress up better to go on a date with this man or this woman than you do when you go in the house of God. Woo! I'm going to help you tonight. I got to get out of here. Y'all got to hear this. So when you are patient and your focus is solely on God, what God will do, people of God, he'll bless you in his timing. But the problem is this now, two eyes. Sometimes you are impulsive and sometimes you are impatient. Okay, you are impulsive and you are impatient, people of God. So now you want what you want. You like what you like. Some of you like tall, short. Some of you like fine. Some of you like a little bit thickness. You like what you want. And you'll try to make God give you what you want. And a lot of times we don't understand in God's sovereignty, he reserves the right to say no or not yet, because sometimes no is better than God saying a yes. So now be patient and focus on God. Number two, always, here it is now, lengthen your patience, but never lower your standards. Never dummy down to a man or a woman in this season of your life. They always need to come up to your level. Never settle for mediocrity in this season of your life. They always need to come up to your level. And if they are not at your level, why are you wasting your time? Don't ever be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. All right. And you try to make a man love you. You try to be saved and think you're going to be saved, because I'm a blessed five of you and tell you this. Men of God look for women that do not trifle with their spirituality. Men of God look for women that have a Bible as an accessory to their wardrobe, because now it's so many counterfeits and chameleons out there that purport to be one thing and they're nothing like they say they are. So if you're a woman of God, be patient. If you're a man of God, be patient, people of God. And in your patience, you won't be impulsive and make the wrong decision. Here it is. Number three. Y'all paying attention. Number three. I'm rolling. I know I got to get out of here. Check this out. If y'all hadn't shared this, hit that share button, share to your wall, because I got to get out of here. Watch this now. Number three, women. I'm going to say this to you. Men, take a break. Hear this now. This is going to sound, watch this. Make yourself available. What did you say, Pastor D? That is heretic. Oh, no, that's heretical. That is not biblical. Make yourself available. Let me prove it to you. Proverbs 18:21 tells you, in 22, he that finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor, people of God, all right, from God. But check this out. You should now understand that a man should pursue you, but how can he pursue someone who's not available? What do you mean, Pastor D? If nobody knows you're available, how in the world are they going to pursue you? If the only thing you do is go to Walmart and back home, how will anybody know you are single? Sometimes you think the word means that you sit up in your house and God will send a man to knock on your door. No, people of God, it does not mean that you are looking for a man. You have to know that you have to be available enough for this man to find you. And in your availability, let's go to number 4 is this now. You're still still going to hold your ground. If you're paying attention, type that back at your boy. Hold your ground. Here it is now. When you hold your ground, you don't waver in the selection process. Right? Okay, here it is now. So if you stay firm in your beliefs and now you have some non-negotiables out the gate. Number one, I will not be living with a man or a woman that is not my husband or my wife. Number two, I will not be sleeping with a man or a woman that is not my husband or my wife. Are y'all hearing this today? I will not be cooking all your food, boo. I will not give you wifey privileges, and I'm only a girlfriend. You have to have non-negotiables out the gate, and you're going to hold your ground. Are y'all hearing this now? So if you hold your ground, then God will protect you from egotistical and manipulative men and women. So now you will see the devil when they come in your face, because now when you hold your ground, God will give you a keen level of discernment to block every fake counterfeit that comes into your life, and you will know out the gate what they want. Come on now, because a lot of times people don't understand sometimes that now you need to practice what you preach. You can't shout at church on Sunday and then you sleep around with everybody that, oh, come on now. You have to practice what you preach. So when you hold your ground, you are telling everybody that comes in your face, I will not do these things because I am standing firm on my beliefs. Help somebody tonight, Pastor D, because I'm trying to do it, y'all. So now, you know, just because they go to church does not mean they're going to be the man or woman for you. Just because they are spiritual or a man or woman of God does not mean they are the man or the woman for you. Just because they tote the book does not mean they know the man. Just because they can quote a scripture or wear a collar does not mean they have a relationship with God. Just because they are in the church and the sacred synagogue does not mean they are in proximity with God. And so sometimes you'll get fooled by people who know how to do all the steps, but they have no power. Oh no, because church can be phony sometimes, and you'll have people that can rehearse the 2 steps and they can do, all right, a Michael Jackson moonwalk, and they can do it, and you'll think it's spiritual, but you don't understand. Sometimes charisma will fool you, and you'll think charisma is anointing. But you need to understand now that when you hold your ground, you are saying to God, I am waiting for you to send me the man and woman that you have for me. And when you hold your ground, God is ready now to come in, and you're inviting God to invade your space with his supremacy and his rulership, because you say, God, I may not be perfect, but I am empty enough for you to come in. And the problem with some of you is this: the reason you're going to be single and you're going to be in a singles ministry till you 90 with a cane walking around, because you are not available to God, and you are not emptying yourself and ridding every encumbrance out of your life so God can fill you, number one, with him, and then God will give you the desires of your heart. But the problem with some of you is this: you keep going back and rehearsing everything in your past instead of the character of God. You will never get to the place where God will get you to Canaan, the promised land, and you always have a foot stuck in Egypt. You keep looking back when God's trying to take you forward. You keep looking back when God's trying to move you ahead. You keep rehearsing what your ex did to you, and how he hurt you, and how he manipulated you, and how he won't pay child support. And God is trying to take you forward. If you only rehearse what they did for you, God will never have you in a posture where he'll have your heart ready for the one that will love you. You keep rehearsing everything that people did to you, but you need to rehearse what God did for you. And when you rehearse what God did for you, you'll understand that God promised that he'll never leave you or forsake you. He promised he'll always be there for you. He promised if your mother, father, or whoever else forsakes you, he's going to be there for you. And when you understand that you need to let these things go, that's when God will release what you cannot see. So when you hold your ground, you are saying to God that now, God, I'm inviting you to come in and invade my space. And when God invades your space, you're saying, watch this, I'm not focused on a relationship with them. I'm focused on getting closer to you. Oh, people of God, come on, Facebook. I'm not focused on having a man. I'm focused on getting more of you. And if your focus will shift and your focus would change, that's when God will send you what you want, people of God. Sometimes the thing about it is this. Sometimes the things that you want, though, are not necessarily what you need. Sometimes the looks that you want and the man that you want may not be what you need. If you hold your ground and allow God to come in, you'll start to see things start to shift and change in your life. So don't waver. Watch me, y'all, in the selection process. I got a shirt on my website, PastorDLewis.com, shameless plug. It tells you this. It says, I'm not stuck up. I'm selective. Ladies, men, you are too old at this juncture in your life, and I know you're looking at me live, to be that type of person where you let everybody walk in your face. You should get a little bit offended by certain people that walk in your face. You're not arrogant. You are selective in this season, in this place where God has you out. You are selective now because now you're too old to play games. You're too old to go back and forth with you. You're too old to be guessing if he loves you. You're too old to be guessing if she really wants to be with you. You are selective in the process. And now, people of God, you stay firm in everything that God has for you, where you're no longer manipulated by a smile. You're not manipulated by words. You're not manipulated by sly things, people of God. In the word of God in Acts, it will show you that Paul and Silas were going somewhere, all right? And the word says they were going to pray, but a woman interrupted their flow, and she had a spirit of divination because it brought her masters great gain. They stayed around Paul and Silas for too many days. Why? Because this woman was stroking his ego and massaging his ego and saying he's a great man of God. She was saying he can cast out devils. Oh, he's anointed. And Paul let her stay around too long. Number one, watch this, because she said the right thing. Some of your relationships are with people that you really don't care that much for, but they know what to say. That was a wild moment. You should have caught that. You really don't really like him like that. He really not that cute. Come on now. Matter of fact, he ain't even that cute. She ain't even that cute. But they know the right words to say, because the enemy will manipulate your mind and you'll have a spirit of disillusionment. Well, now you think just because they said the right things, I love you, I want you, I cannot live without you, that they really want to be with you. But a lot of times the relationships that you encounter, people say what they want to get to you because they understand that now they don't really love you. They love the activity that you give them. Y'all quiet. It's all good. I'm going to help you today, okay? And I got to get out of here. They love what you're doing, so they'll say what you want to hear to keep you doing what you're doing. All right. And sometimes you don't like that and you don't understand that. So they'll tell you they love you. They'll tell you you're the best thing. You're the coup de grace. You the snap, crackle, and pop. You're the best thing since sliced bread. I can't do this without you. But they love some of the activity that you give them. But if you stop the activity, you'll see if they really love you. Last point, and I'm done, people of God, is this now. Check this out. You cannot have more focus, and I'm out of here. You cannot have more focus on the physical than the spiritual. What do you mean, Pastor D? I'm saying this. Sometimes the enemy will manipulate you and you'll have a spiritual Rolodex going off in your brain. And you will think somebody really wants to be with you based on physicality, because sometimes you'll confuse love with lust. You missed that. I know you don't like that point. It's all good. Sometimes you don't get it. You'll confuse love and lust, and people will tell you that they love you, and only thing they really are doing is lusting after you. Okay? So what you'll start to do, you'll start to give off oxytocin because they touch you the right way, and your body gives out all these signals to men, and all right, and now he'll touch you the right way, and you'll think they love you based on a touch. I ain't got time to go there, but I promise you I can prove it. So he'll touch you the right way, and your mind has already manipulated you into a relationship that he's not even thinking about. Wow. Okay. All right. So now you'll think that this man loves you, and the only thing that he really wants to do is sleep with you. Okay, and so now you will start to give him physical activity, and you will start to ignore the spirituality. Okay, you want me to prove it? You'll be in a relationship that you know is toxic. You will be in a relationship that you know is narcissistic. You will be in a relationship that you know God himself has not ordained, but you will stay with this man and not really like him because you like the way that he touched you. Oh, God help us today. Y'all don't like this point. I know it's all good though, but you will stay with this man and you really don't care for him. So now check this out. You don't like him, but you like the way he touches you, but you won't even pray together. Wow. So now you put the physicality over the spirituality and you'll focus on the physical more than the spiritual, and you won't pray with him, but you'll sleep with him. Oh, help us God today. So you'll put the focus on nothing but physical, and you'll base your relationship on physicality. Then you'll be upset about it because now you thought your physicality or your hips, lips, and fingertips or your curves will keep a man. I'm going to bless 5 of you ladies because the rest of y'all paying. And I'm going to say this to you now. Nothing that you got, your body is not that fine to keep a man. No, your Peruvian weave, boo, and your lace front ain't that cute. Well, you gonna keep a man? Oh no, having a child with this person? No. You have to understand that now the respect that you're going to garner from the man of God that you desire is a man that's going to look at your spirituality and not just look at your body and your curves. So what he wants from a woman of God is this: a woman that can cover him, a woman that can pray for him, a woman that can intercede without his invitation, a woman, people of God, that will walk in there and change the temperature of her home, of her house, of her children. She's not fussing and nagging all day, but she'll grab his hand and say, baby, let's pray together. I know it's late in the week. I'm helping you today. You need to understand that men of God will watch you from afar, and they will look afar, and they would not say something for a while because they're trying to see if you are what you are in church the same way outside. Or are you one of those women that want to meet somebody in the parking lot that's going down, tie your hair in a bee, in a bun, and you got your tennis shoes in the trunk? Or are you a woman that shouts on Sunday and people of God that's not in the streets on Monday? And men of God are looking for these women, people of God, and you say, where they at? The problem is not where they at. Where are you? Okay, because you don't have an attraction problem. You got an acceptance problem. If you keep accepting dogs, that's what you're going to be, a dog catcher. Okay? If you keep accepting the suitable, that's all you're going to be. You're going to be something that's mediocre. So the attraction problem is not there because men going to like you regardless. Hear this clearly. By the time you trying to put on 5 waist trainers so you can have your waist snatched. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They got a woman out there. She a size 20 and it's a man out there hugging up on her every day because men will like you regardless. He'll take a doggone Mattel car and a Hot Wheels car and he'll ride them all through your stretch marks. Yes, he will. I'm playing, but I'm telling y'all the truth. So now, if he doesn't love you for you and you don't understand your value, people of God, you don't understand what you're really working with. Let me tell you something. If a man, if a man walks into your life, ladies, he should see the spiritual side of you. He should see that woman that wants to pray for him and love him. I got to go, Facebook. He wants to see that man that's going to be there. And now it doesn't turn to a mode of jealousy because he understands his woman's going to be the same way at home as she is in the street and vice versa. So I got to ask you ladies something and men something to this. Who are you allowing to invade your space? Share this out on your wall because I got to get out of here. The point was this, and I'm done. I'm going to run through them real quick again. All right. Wanting to be loved, number 1, is normal. Acting desperate is abnormal. Number 2, be patient. Focus on God. Okay. And focusing on God may bring delayed gratification. Okay. It may take a while, but God's going to do what he promised. Because you know why God's going to do what he promised? Because if he does not do it, it means he invalidates his glory. And God will never let anything invalidate who he is and his existence because he is God. And before time, he was God. So you need to understand, people of God. You slept yesterday, my friend. I see you, all right? Be patient and focus on God. Number 3 is this. Ladies, make yourself available. Proverbs 18:22 tells you, he that finds a wife finds a good thing, and then they obtain favor from God. But let me go ahead and put a pin in here and put a cord in the meter and keep on going because the car's still running. And I'm going to say this to 5 of y'all because the rest of y'all playing with your imaginary friend. Check this out. The problem with some of you single ladies is this. Before you can get to the place where they can obtain favor from you, you giving away too many favors while you single. Take that how y'all want to. All right. The next point is this. Stop giving away favors. All right. Stop being all right, come on now. Stop giving away all your favors, all right? You giving away too many favors, and now by the time the man tries to obtain favor, you done played too many. Okay, move to the next one, Pastor D. Number 4, hold your ground. Hold your ground, which means don't waver in the selection process. Okay. If you do stay firm in the selection process, now God will block you from manipulative egomaniacs, people of God, that are seeking to, all right, kill, steal, and destroy you. If you hold your ground, what you'll understand is this now, that you would not put yourself in a box or in a season where you have time for fake, phony, and fictitious persons. Okay. And when you down hold your ground, what you are saying to God is, I'm sanctifying my space and I'm ridding every encumbrance that easily besets me. So God, he may be cute, but he can't be around me because I'm not even strong enough to let him come around. When you are in touch with your imperfections, you tell God, God, I can't handle this. I want to be strong right here, but God blocked me from this because I need to be strong in this area of my life. When you are strong enough to admit to God that I have tendencies, I have proclivities, I have issues, that's when God will come in and work it out. All right. Number 5 is this. All right. It was this. You cannot put more focus. Watch me now. More focus on the physicality than the spiritual. And the point I made was very simple. You can't let him sleep with you and then decide now that you just want to focus on physicality and you never want to focus on spirituality. If he is not a leader when you meet him, que sera, sera, whatever would be. Martin would bless 5 of you and tell you this. Don't let the doorknob hit you or the good Lord split you. You got to be in a place in your life where a man walks into your life. He is ready to be a leader, and you got to stop trifling and being, all right, being that type of woman that wants to be a girlfriend. You got to want to be a wife, okay? He needs to understand when he walks into your life, you can take yourself out to dinner and buy your own 2 for $20 because you greedy. You like to eat everything off your plate anyway, and you're probably going to eat the stuff off his plate. Okay, so now you can take yourself to the movie. So when you meet him, you need to know the intentions out the gate. I'm too old to be playing. Do you want to be married or are you here to play? Right? Okay. So now when you understand this, you say, you know what? I know my value and my purpose. And so now you'll never get in a relationship because sometimes you'll get in the relationship and you think this relationship defines who you are. And you need to understand that now nobody defines who you are or no one determines your net worth or your value. The only one that does that is God. So now, if you lose the relationship, you never lose your relationship with God. So if he walks out of your life, now you've already set yourself up because you're a woman of purpose and destiny. You did not marry him. I'm sorry. You did not date him or you did not get with him so he can be your financial plan. You did not get with him so he can be your next hustle or your come up. You got with him because initially maybe you thought God was in the mix. But when you find out God is not in the mix, now you shoot him the deuces. And now if he tries to tell you something that's contrary to God's will, you can remind him, wait a second, I didn't get anything or attain anything from you in the first place. This is my table, boy. This is my house you standing at. This is my car I'm driving, okay? So you didn't get with him because you attained your own things. And when you understand your purpose, your value, you will understand, people of God, that in this season of your life is this now. You don't allow scrubs to touch your body, and the only scrubs that you allow to touch your body are work clothes. I'm Pastor D. I got to roll, people of God. I'm out of time, but I'm so not out of word. If you in Shreveport, Louisiana, come holler at your brother from another mother, same daddy, but we're covered by the blood. Go and look at my website, www.pastordlewis.com, and support our ministry with any amount, whatever you want to give. If it's been a blessing to you, it's all on you, people of God. And I love y'all. Facebook Live. I got to get back on here more. Please share this to your wall. If some of your girlfriends need to be blessed, because some of them not listening to you, they may listen to me. Okay, so share it to your walls. Let Lottie Dottie and everybody look at this, and now let it be a blessing. Come in if it's been a blessing. Send me a friend request if it's been a blessing. Because the last point is this, and we going home. Reach across the aisles and grab the neighbor by the hand, because you got to understand sometimes now you have a part to play in this relationship, ladies. So now you have to have mutual agreements out the gate. Now, check this out. You don't have to wait until they give you marriage license to have agreements. Catch that by the time y'all go to sleep tonight, and y'all get that, all right? No, boo. Mutual agreements out the gate. We grown. We got to have some agreements about how we're going to define this relationship. You didn't have to wait till you get married. I'm not talking about sleep with them, but you need to have some mutual agreements out the gate when you are dating this person. Today, people of God, y'all need to understand something. The enemy is trying to take you out and trying to wreck your life. I believe God's going to put a covering over you, and he's going to protect you, and God's going to protect you from phony friends and phony fictitious people of God, because you need to understand. I'm out of here. Check this out. When you are dating people, everybody doesn't need to see everything in your relationship, number one. And you can't tell all your friends your business, because you need to understand something. Let's sign off together. If you stop telling your enemies so much, okay? All right. If you stop telling your enemies everything, that's when God can come in. But one of the problems is you tell everybody everything. You post everything about you when you need to let God handle it. Stop posting what people did to you and post the goodness of God. And the last point is this, people of God. Some of your girlfriends mean you no good. Some of them are under false pretenses because they're trying to get what you got, because they think the grass is greener on the other side. Let's go home together. Stop telling your friends so much. Then your enemies won't know everything. I'm Pastor D, signing off. Y'all be blessed.